Welcome to the next best of 3, everybody! The Happy Gaming Cup, the Chinese tournament that we've started to cover a couple of days ago. On the left side we got the team Genshin Impact, and on the right we got Tsunami. This is a best of 3 series in the winner bracket of the tournament. We're going over it in just a second, but well, let's introduce the lineups here first. We had Murden and Leoric at the front line for the blue team, with Regan, Sylvanas and Junkrat rounding out the draft for them. And well, that's already a lot of push power that they have, a little bit of displacement with Junkrat. Can always follow up on a good stun from Murden. On the right side we got Tsunami with Hogga and ETC, interestingly enough, at the front line. Anduin for the heals, Tychus and Chromie for the damage, but especially the ETC pick is super interesting here. Maybe you can even combo that off a bit with the Light Bomb. I guess you could also try to go into the bubble with Anduin and combo off a Mosh Pit with him. So there's some interesting variations that they could play. ETC is not really a character that you see a whole lot these days. This is a tournament that is to commemorate the server shutdown a little bit. If you haven't heard that yet, talking about ETC, not really a good start. So Blizzard had this whole rigmarole, this political stuff with the Chinese market, where they're now shutting down servers for pretty much all of their games, World of Warcraft and also Heroes of the Storm, and this is why we're having a dedicated tournament on the Chinese server. And now before everybody starts freaking out, so first of all, the Asia server is still up. This is really just about the dedicated server for China, and this is all politically motivated. There were a couple of articles out just the other day. It's a licensing problem, and Blizzard is pretty much losing chunks of the Chinese market as a result. So the dedicated Chinese server is therefore turned off, and this tournament is just designed to have some heroes, celebrate the game a little bit before that happens. And the Chinese players, of course, they can afterwards still play on also the Chinese server. That's a Genji player. That is definitely a Genji player. Nice moves by Sylvanas here. That's usually something that you see from every single Genji player on the ladder, just jumping in deep and trying to go for the kill, even if it costs your life. In this case, though, well played, and this is now 3 kills to 0, so Team Genshin Impact comes out swinging. They are destroying the top wall, they're really crushing Tsunami in the early stages of this game. And of course the lead in experience and the extra talent are pretty solid here, I gotta admit. Now Anduin is doing what he's doing best. He's running away, or at least trying to, but it seems that he's not running fast enough. He gets swarmed and taken down, and that is kill number 4. We could be in for a quickie here. I mean, they are really fast with this. They're still pressuring the top, they're going for a Hogga kill, and they're taking Young Templar down. So now Sylvanas can help to put additional pressure onto the fort, but damn son, somebody is getting a spanking in game number 1. Now, as already mentioned, this is still an early round in the tournament. This is the quarterfinals, but in total we only had 16 teams in the tournament. So in the round of 8 that you see here, that means that all the teams that made it to the round of 8 only had to defeat a single opponent. So there's bound to be a couple of skill gaps between teams that face off here in the round of 8. And I think this might be one of them. I mean, time will tell. Maybe Tsunami just got caught off guard a little bit. We had the other day, we had during Meta Madness a couple of matches where it seemed that one team just didn't have enough coffee in game number 1. And they got a little bit crushed, and afterwards completely turned those matches around. So I'm not sure if we're going to experience the same thing here, but I can at least tell you that in the early game, things aren't looking too good for Team Tsunami. That is not a big Tsunami that we're witnessing right now, especially with Anduin now dying again. So this is the second time that the Crybaby went down. And yeah, he is just getting bloodied. We have stacking for Tychus on level 4. We've seen this a few times now in the Chinese meta and in the Asian meta in general. So in the rhythm with 17 stacks, nothing to write home about just yet. Speed medal for our boy ETC after initially going into the prog rock. Is currently attempting to stack this up, but they're still lacking 1 talent. Maybe they're lacking talent in general, that's debatable. And it's 6 kills to 0. It really feels, at least for now, that Tsunami got a bit of a bad matchup in this round. So with 1 level of an elite, A talent advantage that they held until a second ago. They're now making a play for the first objective, and they get that Arcane Punisher without any troubles whatsoever. And let's not forget that they have a Sylvanas, and Sylvanas is currently at the bottom of the map, just trying to do some solo YOLO and going straight for structures and the second fort, as the rest of the team, or at least two of them, are currently up at the top, occupying the defense of Tsunami and threatening that fort over here. So Leo is getting experience in the middle. He's pushing this through. At the bottom of the map, we have Sylvanas doing the same thing. Everybody is 5-manning on the Punisher and trying to defend it from the red team's perspective, but it's definitely costing them. They lost the wall at the bottom of the map. They're going to lose this fort too, and there's even a bit of a fight breaking out at the top that slows the rotation of Tsunami down even further. So, yeah, Muradin waiting this out a little bit, playing with vision so that he gets his cooldowns back. But he doesn't even have to use them here. Takes the wall down too, Stormbolt connects as well, and things are really going their way. There's the level 10 ability, Sylvanas jumping out easily. At the top, they're losing Tychus. We get the Riptire, we get Haymaker, and there's the Stormbolt, there's the Riptire, and the Crybaby is dead again. I want my mommy! Stupid Anduin. For the Alliance! Shut up. Oh boy. 10 kills to 0. Guys, I don't know what's happening here, but Tsunami seems to be massively outmatched. Genshin Impact is absolutely destroying them. Turning this into a quick match right now. This is like a 5-stack that started to go full quick match YOLO, and now they destroyed every single outer structure. We're 5.5 minutes into this game, and they took every single fort down that Tsunami had. So now the top lane is getting attacked here. We have more camps taken. Leo, I mean, careful, buddy. He's getting 5-man here, and I think he's going to fall. He's activating his trait. I don't even know if that counts as a kill or a trait activation. But either way, this is the first blood for Tsunami. They made it happen. This is worth a round of applause, I suppose. Nicely done, nicely done. Gotta give him that. That prevents at least the perfect game from Genshin Impact. And, well, they definitely have an impact. You can say that again. And with this, we are seeing them now with the light bomb and with the mosh pit. And you gotta be fair, they got a couple of stuns now that they could execute here, and they're trying. There's the slide with the light bomb. They're going for a kill, and they can't get it because Rega is paying attention. Chromie is dead as Sylvanas is coming in with a place, taking down Chromie, taking down Anduin and Tychus with the help of Rega and the rest of the team, and it's a quad kill as they are destroying ETC2. Nicely done, and an absolute ruthless display here from the blue team. I mean, that team fight, Chromie was the first one to fall. Tychus follows a second later, and then towards the end, it's the Entomb of Leoric that seals the deal for ETC. Now they're pressuring for the first keep of the game, and we are only 7 minutes into this one. The next objective is probably up, and look at Tychus. He has to pop Odin here for defense. It's even too late, but this also means that he won't have the cooldown ready for the fight on the shrine itself. So a massive problem. Stormbolts connect, and if it wasn't for Anduin and his pull, ETC would have fallen here. They could go for the shrine. They got the talent advantage. They're 2 levels ahead. Yeah, Leo needs to be a bit careful. Muradin just locking in one Stormbolt after another. I mean, he is firing off Heatseeker missiles and not Stormbolts. But look at this, another one connects and they take Anduin down. They go for Chromie. She gets time-outed, but that is going to be the end of her. They're also killing Tychus, and I guess they're going for the core. Guys, this is a total quickie. We're 8 minutes into the game. What the hell is happening here? So apparently Genshin Impact, they are the reigning champions in China, and they're going up a couple of randoms here, but oh boy, what a mismatch. Yeah, the red team got highly unlucky here with their draw in the round of 8, as it seems. We have an 8-minute game as Genshin Impact takes the lead. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Game number 2! We had a side switch. Guys, you need to get used to this. So from map to map, we will see this quite often in this tournament, that the teams are switching sides. There's a little bit more discipline around all of this in the European tournaments. One of the main reasons for that is that pretty much 99% of the European tournaments get organized by me. and my admins and myself, we always make sure that the players stick to the same sides and respect that throughout their matches, which is a bit easier to watch for the viewers. But that doesn't really exist in a lot of other regions and servers, so that's why there is a lot happening between these games where the players just decide whoever hosts, they don't switch sides and whatnot. So that's happening here. So you have to pay a little bit of attention on where which team is from one game to the other, and it's pretty apparent here. Genshin Impact is now starting on the right side instead on the left as they did before. But they have been absolutely crushing it in the first game, of course. I mean, there was an absolute quickie. They ended the game with 8 minutes, and as we've also been informed by the Chinese admins, so the red team, you can already see a couple of these players with the C8 tack, for example. That's one of the teams that they used in the past. Oh, but now they're actually losing the first hero. They're losing Rhaegar. But they are more or less the reigning champions. So they are one of the strongest teams in the tournament. Definitely one of the favorites. One of the teams that you really have to beat if you want to make it into the grand final. Whereas Tsunami is, so to say, just a team of random players. Maybe not random, but like these guys are definitely not as experienced as the red team, so there is a skill discrepancy. I talked about this. This is pretty much what you expect in any tournament in the early rounds. Every single tournament worth its salt will seed teams initially just so that the top teams don't face off against each other in the earlier rounds. You will have the occasional upset, but the really intense matches usually happen a bit later in the tournament. Now here in the quarterfinal, in the best of 3, we have Genshin Impact with a 1-0 lead. We're finding ourselves now on Garden of Terror. And with 2 kills to 0, I gotta give it to Tsunami. They are doing a much better job in this early game now than they did previously. They're running this also with a very heavy front line as they are utilizing Stitches, XUL, and also Deathwing. So the big idea here is really to have a very hit point heavy front line, play with that, try and also get the wave clear in from XUL so that they can still push the lanes back and have a bit more map control than previously. But on the other side, we have, for example, Hogga, and he's pretty huge when it comes to general control of mercenary camps. And this is one of the main reasons why he is oftentimes a first pick or even a ban on Garden of Terror. And that's exactly what we're seeing here as well. So he's picked very, very early, taken, and therefore we have now very good mercenary control from Team Genshin Impact. And they're playing Abathur. We got the Slug in the house, ready to slap. And King with Genji is going to try and make the life of the backline on the side of Tsunami very living hell. And Li Ming is not going to like that in the later stages. Now, of course, in the early game, it might be a little bit different. But even now, oof. Hello, Lucio. That was close. That was very, very close. Up at the top. It would be funny if he died there. It's always kind of funny if a player overestimates or underestimates the situation a little bit, then gets punished for it. Pyjama Thor, absolutely love it. Yeah, really, really like it here. And with that, we now have also the first objective up. So that's the first seed that's going to be taken here. Diablo ready to take a hook for Hogga, but doesn't even have to. The blue team is now also attempting to get a couple of camps on the road, but this is what both of the teams are doing. And we have actually an Abathur that is starting to body soak a little bit while he's supporting the team. And there's of course a huge team fight at the bottom all of a sudden breaking out, where Abathur is just in the nick of time. As long as they are aware of the opponent's position, Abathur can still sit at the top and get all of the experience soaked in. It was the first kill for them, so they finally take the front line down and eliminate Stitches. But Abathur still soaking this, assisting with the symbiote. We have Li Ming now also eliminated. And the red team is insanely low, but they're still getting the kills here. Lucio is the next to fall. And as Deathwing is trying to at least get a counter kill, it seems like he himself might be in trouble if this continues. But Diablo is cut off a bit and Rhaegar is also low. Here comes Stitches again. They want the kill and they're low. What? Don't tell me he gets away. There is no way. Rhaegar is about to escape and they're getting a kill on XUL. You gotta be fucking with me. Really? Wow. Stitch is missing the slam. Allowed Rhaegar to escape, and that he just circles around, gets a heal through as the ability comes off cooldown, heals himself and helps the team to another kill. 2 kills, 2-4, level 7, level 8 now for the red team. And Abathur needs to get away because the dragon likes worms. I mean, yeah, he would love to go for Abathar. Now we got level 7 talents. The build on Stitches, also a little bit different with the Wild Cleaver into the Putrefaction. We now got the Calamity on level 7. The next seed is up on the map and the teams are going to fight for that. Whereas we have, for now, the Network Carapace and also Needlespine. So a bit more push power for Abathar if he uses it on the side lanes. And they are really fighting over every single one of these seeds, aren't they? So here comes the next battle with Stitches dropping low again. He's in real trouble, and as Genji engages, they get the kill on the tank. Deathwing still alive, but he's in trouble, and Deathwing is about to turn into Deadwing. He dies too. In comes the move for Lucio, who gets chased heavily, but might escape. Depends a bit on the cooldowns here. Rega with a jump and the bite, and that is the end of the support. 7 kills to 2. As mentioned before, there is a clear skill and experience gap between the two teams. Genshin Impact, they are showcasing that they are planning once again to be one of the biggest forces in this tournament here on the Chinese server. So they are just applying pressure, trying to build on these advantages as best as they can. And they got one rule and one rule only, and that is like brawl, baby, brawl. They're coming in with one hit after another. Stitches is dead again. XUL is down. And it's just can't stop, won't stop. They get level 10. Yeah, Rega has the Ancestral. Doesn't even use it on himself. I'm pretty sure he had the mana a second ago. Diablo goes down. Here comes the Ancestral finally. They still got a kill on Lucio, so it baited them in a bit deeper even. 10 kills to 3. Abathar helping. X-Strike. And goodbye, Li Ming. What a slaughter. 2 seeds to 0, and now they can pick up another one. They're pressuring at the top. Genji is moving back. Abathar, again, he has the Network Carapace, and hello? He must have seen him. But he's completely out on the map. Abathar, he's just saying hello. Hail to the king, baby.
Hail to the king, baby.
He's just too good. And here comes the worm with the ult to escape from Deathwing, and they're forcing them into another big fight right now as the Garden Terrors are already up on the map. So while they're battling this out here at the bot lane, the Garden Terrors, the objective does work. Genji with a swift strike kill. Abathar drops Li Ming. Stitches dies, that's 3 down, and they're going for Deathwing, who's also eliminated. Lucio, he played it safe. Not only does he dance in the middle and has a good time here, but he also moved back down out of the fight. He's like, boys, we don't have a level 10. We don't want to fight this. I mean, honestly, he was the only one that was smart. Instead of dying with the team, he just said, fuck it. Moved back, and I was relaxing easily. Well, we have every single lane terrorized by the red team. Genshin Impact, they want the easy 2-0 here. They want to move on to the winner bracket semi-final, which is, by the way, a best of 5. So after this match, we will, or after this round, we will enter the best of 5 matches of the game. And there's also still a loser bracket to consider. But we have 15 kills now against 4. And yeah, it's just Farmville. I mean, clearly the red team is much, much better at coordinating their attacks, and they're currently playing this out. But I also want to give a little bit of a shout out to Tsunami. I think it's really cool that we have still teams entering tournaments like this that are fully aware that they won't be able to, you know, go up against the top teams. And this is something that for a weird reason oftentimes also gets criticized, but I really think it's pretty cool. So yeah, big shout out to them. And for them it's, I guess, pretty awesome to play against teams that they've probably seen a lot also on stream and players that they maybe look up to. It's actually a really good learning experience too, to go up against a strong team and then afterwards analyze replays and check out where they excelled, what they did better, how you can adjust, and just go over that. So yeah, blue team with a bit of a tough match, a tough draw in the round of 8, but they're doing their best here. Stitches on the front line in particular is suffering a little bit. He already died 5 times, and of course it's just one fight after another that you can see here. Another quick hook is already coming out. Hello, they try to go for Diablo. Here comes Deathwing. Trying to zone out Genji, I like that. Trying to get him out of the picture. And they're going for Diablo. They're really putting all of their eggs in one basket, and they might even be able to get the kill. The problem with that is that he was again fully stacked on the souls. They get the Diablo kill, but they're losing everybody else in the process. Now, after they lost Li Ming and Lucio, it's the end of... I mean, it's the end of the entire team. It's a 5-man team. Team wipe. I don't really mind them targeting Diablo when they have an opportunity to take him down. The problem is they had too much tunnel vision there. They really just tried to take him down. He was able to sustain himself very, very nicely throughout the fight. And therefore, the rest of the team just could do damage. They were not checked at all. Yeah, Rhaegar is having a bit of a fun time over here. But he dies eventually. They couldn't take the keep down either. Abathar has been pushing out the top lane a little bit more. The Slugger. Look how far out he is on the map. I mean, he really, really is not afraid of anything here. Li Ming, I love it. I love the attitude of Li Ming. Li Ming is sitting here and she's like, well, I'm getting popped every 5 seconds anyways. I might as well just go for max damage with a glass cannon. This is a move that we've seen on the European side mainly, if not only, from Nick when he was absolutely confident that he could get away with it and that his team had his back. But here we're now seeing it from a Li Ming who said like, well, I'm dying anyways. I might as well do a little bit more damage. Oh, God. The Slug is down. That's a sad moment. Abathar gets taken, but well, 16 to 13. There's a huge difference in levels and of course also with talents. So they are going for another Diablo kill, and you know what? This time is down for the count. So all of a sudden a couple of these fights go a little bit better for Tsunami, but not good enough. They still lose their front line, they still lose ZUL, they still lose Stitches. Deathwing is on the run, Lucio is trying to run away but he couldn't. Li Ming pretty much knows what's going on here. She's all alone against Hogger at this point, but is getting a little bit outplayed. And to be fair, it wasn't Hogger alone. He had a bit of support from Abathar here. Dog against Dragon. I really would love in situations like this if Blizzard at some point had made it so that certain heroes are strong against others. There should be a special attack, like a finishing move that Deathwing has, that whenever he goes up against Abathar, against Lunara, against Rhaegar, that he can just come in and eat them. Like, just bite them and eat them. Just, like, gobble them up and then they die. A little bit similar to what we're seeing here from the Gorge. But can you imagine a dog going up against the dragon? How long would that last? Maybe it's a bit OP, but it would be a fun interaction. You need a fun mode or something where that is possible, where you have certain things like that. But yeah, either way, good hook. Not good enough. But at least they're starting to threaten a couple of these players. The problem is, of course, still that we have Siege Giants at the top with the Catapult still doing some work. We have 35 kills, by the way. 35. 12 minutes into the game. And still a 2.5 level lead for the boys in red. Now, as all of this plays out, we have 58,000 damage for Deathwing, which is actually not too shabby. Hogger is sitting at 70k. Genji at 51. Our boy Abathar at 25,000. A lot of siege damage for Abathar though, so he's really taking care of these side lanes, as we're seeing here. And as they take one camp after another, we have one extra seed in their favor. So Genshin Impact has taken in total 4 seeds now in this game. And Tsunami wasn't able to take a single one just yet. And I just love how Abathar is just out there. It's like, yeah, playing it safe, nah, not needed. Yeah, shows the location here hasn't turned it off either. So now with the next seed coming out at the bottom of the map, we at least have even talents for the two teams. Maybe a bit of a chance for Team Tsunami to get a fight going here. I assume that they are looking for one. But in the middle of the map, while this push is happening, they could even go for the keep. So I'm a little bit surprised at what's happening here. I mean, the blue team has decided to push the bot lane, which is an odd choice to begin with. Rhaegar is still fighting a 1v1 against Deathwing. Apparently they have unfinished business. I'm not quite sure who pissed off whom there. But they didn't go for the keep in the middle, so they could have easily traded. I think Rhaegar is doing it now, and Abathar is pushing the top. But down here, ZUL dies, Lucio dies too, and it is a slaughter. 4 heroes down, Deathwing is alive, the keep is finally gone, and now Rhaegar is sitting there. He has a hot Tinder date. He wants to end this game as quickly as he can. Abathar is helping out. Yes, slap it, baby! Slap it! Slaps the core in style. Deathwing is attempting to safeguard at least the top a little bit. I don't think he's going to make it either, but they are starting to make their way over towards the core. This should be the end of it, of course. But damn, what a speedrun in this series by Genshin Impact. absolute show of force for them. Very impressive. And of course, we have to see if they can maintain that level of superiority throughout the tournament once that we're going into the semifinals, into the winner bracket final, and then potentially if they make it all the way in the grand final itself. But at least here in the round of 8, they did an absolute marvelous job. Great performance by them. Yeah, and we'll see if they can keep that up. So good job, a 2-0 victory for Genshin Impact as they advance to the next round of the Happy Gaming Cup.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.